There are times in life where we don't get the apology, the explanation, the conversation, or the closure that we hope to get from another person. And in these cases, we may feel that we cannot move forward without that closure from them. But the good news is that there are things that you can do apart from them to help yourself gain a sense of closure in your life. So, the first thing that you can do is actually share your pain with people who are safe, who will listen, who will validate your experience, who want to understand what happened from your perspective, who are willing to say when an injustice occurred, who care to bring comfort, who will listen to your questions and the points where you do feel stuck. A lot of times when we want an apology or an explanation, it's because we want to understand. It's because we want someone to validate that pain and to see what it cost us. You can find other people who will validate that pain for you. And if it is explanation or understanding that you want, in those cases, we may have to release that to God, trusting that He understands what we don't and that He is working on our behalf and will work for our healing. We do not have to understand in order to heal, but we do need comfort. We do need connection. We do need relationship, and we do need validation. The second thing that you can do is extend forgiveness. Forgiveness can be a tricky subject to talk through because there are so many different messages that we hear about it. But the essence of forgiveness is this: I will no longer hold this debt against you for this crime you committed against me. Because that is the type of forgiveness that we receive in Christ. And forgiveness is a decision, but it's oftentimes not a one-time decision. It's a multiple decisions upon multiple decisions to continue to forgive. It's a process. And we may confuse healing with forgiveness because sometimes we may still find ourselves affected or ourselves having a reaction. And that does not mean that we haven't forgiven. It may just mean that there's still need for healing. And forgiveness actually may be a part of that healing process, but perhaps not the entirety of it. So, on top of finding other people who can validate and listen and show care and forgiveness, maybe there's a need to put a boundary. That's the third thing. Their boundaries are not meant to punish. They are not retaliatory to say, you did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you. Boundaries are meant to keep safe. They are meant to protect what is sacred and what is precious. And friends, I hope that you know that you and your well-being, your mental and emotional state are precious to God. They are important to Him. And when you preserve those, when you take good care of them, you're aligning with His heart for you. And so maybe that means that you need to give limited access or perhaps no access if a person is unsafe or continuously destructive to your well-being. Or maybe that is giving limited access to a thought or to a habit that you have, and saying, nope, we're not going that way because it's not producing something good in my life. So the third thing is to put in the needful boundaries. And then the fourth thing is to build a beautiful life. Make sure that make sure that you're building beautiful things into your life. If you only live with the pain and there's no refilling, you're only going to fill that emptiness. It will be consuming to you. But if you replenish that with good relationships, with healing, with self-care, with things that you enjoy, then you're going to feel the ability to move forward even better. And then the final thing that you can do is perhaps do a closing ritual or ceremony. For some people, this has been to write everything in a letter that they never give to the other person, but it gives them space to be fully heard, to say goodbye, to release that thing. For some people, they write everything or they have something that they want to burn as a symbol of releasing that, or sending it out into the water, or burying something, or giving something away. There are a number of things that we can do that symbolize closure, that symbolize release, that give our mind a tangible moment and point to refer back to say, that was a turning point from this to this. Maybe it's a prayer that you want to speak over them, a blessing that you want to give as a final interaction, a final thing towards that person that allows your heart to sit in a good posture moving forward. I hope some of these things have been helpful for you. If you still find yourself stuck and you're not able to move past some of these things, I encourage you to consider counseling. I encourage you to talk to a mentor or a friend so that maybe they have a perspective or an idea or just comfort to bring to you that you may not be able to find on your own. But you don't have to remain stuck. You can find a sense of closure, even if another person does not grant it to you.